Hey, Steve Gamache here with another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. What we have this time is the Mazaki Shidogame or White No. 2 Kudauchi finished Gyuto 180mm size. The construction on these is 3 layers, and the center hard cutting edge steel is Shidogame or White Paper No. 2 reactive high carbon steel. Heat treats typically about 61 to 62 Rockwell on that core steel. The construction is on either side of that hard core steel they put a soft stainless cladding, and then they've covered the cladding in a Kudauchi or blacksmith kind of black protective finish. This is applied after the fact on this particular line. The weight and dimensions on these will vary a bit from knife to knife, but this particular one is 5.1 ounces or 146 grams in weight. The edge length is about 190mm. These are typically a little oversized. So this one's 190mm or 7.5 inches on the edge, about 13.2 inches overall. They also are fairly tall blades, and they also have a thickness coming out of the handle that thins out pretty quick on the spine. So I measured about 4.5 millimeters thick above the heel, the back of the heel, the chin here, but these thin out quickly. All of them have done that, and I'm going down to 1.8 halfway down the blade, which is a big difference, and then about 1.5 inches from the end, I got about 1.3. So these thin out beautifully. Don't be too concerned about that thickness at the back. It really does not impact performance on these. And you can see the tip gets nice and thin. And on some of these, this one they don't, but on some of them, you've got a Kudauchi finish on the spine, but on some of them towards the tip, they've sanded it down just a little to meet the tip to make that nice and pointy and sharp. This particular one, it looks like they didn't do that, but the other blades they have. The height on this one's about 47.1, so it's tall for a 180, and you've got lots of clearance there. The neck is not particularly wide. Handle is octagonal ambidextrous oak with a buffalo horn ferrule, and I guess the transition there does have a little bit of a step between there, but not much. It's really not objectionable, but they've all been pretty consistent like that. And they've done a nice job of putting a pretty continuous, smooth transition there from the bottom of the handle to the neck into the choil, the back of the blade. So very nice, easy to fit your finger there for a pinch grip, no matter what size your finger, and it just pops right in there for a pinch grip. So easy peasy on that. The handle is about appropriate for the size of this. It's about 70 millimeters or 2.75 inches in circumference, right before the wood meets the ferrule. And then the balance point on this, it's going to be a little further back being a lighter blade, but there's your balance point. It's right about at the choil. So it's going to be a little handle heavy weight bias wise, but very, very nimble nonetheless. It's a light blade, as you can see, 5 ounces approximately. The fit and finish is nice on these. I've got 5 of them in this batch. All of them have clean grinds. They're very straight, consistent between all 5 blades, so that's nice to see out of a maker. Now you can see the finish here. They've got a kind of a Kasumi finish going on there, a little polish at the edge, core steel. And then it's a little hard to see, but these do have hand engraving or hand chiseling on the kanji. What they've done, it looks like, is they've chiseled it, then they've sanded it, and then they've applied the KU finish, so that fills it in, so you don't really feel anything across there, but you've got some on the right side of the blade and you've got some on the left side of the blade. And if you look close, it is there, but it's fairly muted, not like if it was chiseled after the fact or engraved after the fact. Let's see, what else? The 210 I've been using, the 210 Gyuto, and the performance is excellent. The tip just worked extremely well. It flies through onions, for example. They're thin at the edge, so the performance is really well done on these. It's really nice, and just a good solid performer. The edge profiles are similar between the knives as well, which is good because you kind of know what you're going to get. This has a little bit of a flat towards the heel, kind of flows into a stop, not an abrupt stop, but a stop. And then you can see a fairly low tip on this with a little bit of belly towards the tip. So I can rock pretty nicely with this one. Push-pull cuts, a little chopping at the back. So for 180, well 190 in this case, you got a lot of different stuff going on with this profile and pretty versatile. So just impressed with these line of knives. They're consistent, the performance is very good, nicely crafted. So just well executed package. So this is the Mazaki Shidogame or White No. 2 Kudauchi Gyuto 180mm knife.